everybody, I'm just getting set up for my live. I'm going to check my Facebook and make sure we got everything going. I'm kind of new to this, setting up the mini chat bot and the Facebook live and getting it all connected so you guys know when I'm going live. So hold on just a minute while I get this set up. That's why I came in a few minutes early. I am waiting on my internet service. Hopefully it won't be blurry for you guys tonight. And it looks like it's not going to want to do this. We'll give it a minute. Here we go. It's thinking. You guys see me? Because my phone says that I'm not live. Alright, can you see me now? Alright, I see y'all. I see Maria from Nashville. Hello. Thank you for joining. Alright, I'm thinking I'm live. Alright, let's see. Okay, I think we got it. I think we got it going now. All right. So welcome to my Facebook Live tonight. I'm hoping that I get a few of you guys joining me. I think it is going to be an awesome night tonight. We're going to make a pretty wreath using our buffalo plaid that won the contest. Can you guess? Well, red won. Red had 42 votes as of 7:58 tonight, and black only had 15. So, we'll put the black away. We'll save it for another day, another project. I'm quite sure I can find something. All right. So we're going to make this wreath tonight with a work form that I got at Sims Pottery, and it's just an evergreen work form. We're going to use this very pretty Deco mesh with the green and the red, the shiny premium green and red. And we're going to use this pretty Merry Christmas sign. and some more pretty ribbon. So as you guys come in tonight, tell me where you're from. I've got Maria here from Nashville. And I'd love for you to like and share this video. Hopefully we can get several folks participating with us tonight. We can have a good time. And while we make something pretty. So the first thing I do is I just get my wreath form fluffed up and ready. How's everybody doing tonight? I think I have a couple on here with me. Yeah, I have several. So I'm glad y'all took the time to join me tonight. I'm going to try not to take too long making this wreath so I don't keep y'all too long tonight, but I'm going to get my price tag off. So I'm going to set my wreath form to the side for just a minute because I am going to prepare the mesh. Now, on this form, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, I have 16 ties, and so that lets me know that I'm going to need 16 pieces of mesh. I'm using, Maria, that's a great question. I'm using a 20-inch wreath form for this wreath. I want this wreath to be kind of, I want it to be a good size, but I want it to be nice and full and compact. So I'm going to use that 20-inch wreath form for this one. And this is a smaller sign, and I don't want it to get lost in the bigger, the 24-inch wreath form. So I'm going to be using that. And I stack my ribbons on top of each other. I'm going to shift you down a little bit so you guys can see a little better. How's that? Okay. I'm going to shift you, I shifted you down so that you can see I am doubling up my ribbon. That way I know I've got to cut 16 strips. And so I'm going to cut 8 of 2. This is 21-inch Deco mesh. And it's a great quality. It's nice and thick. It's what I like. That's why I like to choose this mesh. I'm going to cut my strip at 12 inches. So I've got it on 30. 30 minus 10 is what? 20. And 20 minus 2 is 18. So yeah, I have to do math quick in my head like that because it's too complicated. I use a rotary cutter, just a simple Fisker's rotary cutter. I believe I got it at Joann's day after Thanksgiving sale. And I use just a block of wood to hold my mesh. Hello, Amanda from Quebec. Yeah, right. Alright, so I know I'm going to need 8 of these. I just drop them in the floor behind me, guys. I'm real technical here. So there's one set of 2. And then I'll put it back on 30. When I do my mesh like this, especially this that has the bands in it, you really want to make sure that you adjust your mesh once you roll it out. If you don't, it has a tendency to walk. And then you get the jagged cuts, and then it's not what you're looking for. So remember, we measured 12 inches was to the 18, so we just cut, so that makes 2. And this isn't complicated. You just roll it out, straighten it up, and cut it. And I probably need to exchange my blades and get a little sharper. Hey, Miss Cindy, how are you tonight? We are making that wreath tonight with the ribbons that you guys chose in our poll yesterday. I was so excited that everybody joined in on that poll. When I first posted it, I wasn't sure that anybody would answer my question. Alright, we got 4 of the 8 that we need to cut. And you guys really just blew my socks off answering that question. Say hello, Miss Molly. How are you? Hey, Chris. How are you? What are those babies doing? Alright, so that makes 5. But again, in case you're just now joining me, the ribbon that won the contest last night was that beautiful red, to the vote of 42 to 15. 6. 7. So y'all let me know that you're here. Those of you that have joined me, I'd love to know where you're from and a little bit about you. All right, I lost my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe I got 8. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to just put these to the side because all I needed was 8. All right, get my wreath form. Remember guys, I'm using that 20-inch wreath form and I fluffed it up, and I like to check the back, like that right there. It's poking up and it may scratch somebody's door. So I like to be able to run my hands around it to make sure it's good and smooth so we're not scratching anybody's door. Put my magic block away. My daughter does woodwork, and that's just a scrap that she had laying in the barn. I said, ooh, I could use that. Alright. So we've got our 8 strips, 21-inch Deco mesh, cut to 12 inches in length. Now for the fun part. This is where a lot of people struggle with making the Deco mesh wreaths, but it's really, once you get the hang of it, it's really fun. So I separate them out. Hello, Mom. Hey, Megan. Thank y'all for joining me. Hey, you guys share my video and see if we can get some more folks. So I was telling you guys when I started that contest last night, I just posted the question, and I've been trying to build my Facebook likes and followers on my Crafty Creations page, and I started with 731 likes, and so far I'm almost at 760. So I was very excited to get the new likes to my page and the new followers. And then I tried that mini bot chat feature, so you guys subscribed, I do believe, to get notifications for when I go live or if I have anything going on exciting. And oh, we got another vote for the B, for the red. So awesome. We are going to have a lot of red. Hello, Miss Chandra. Thank you for joining. Oh, thank you for the share, guys. So anyway, so I take this mesh, and it already has a natural curl to it from being on the roll. I follow that natural curl. I just roll it up, and then I go about 3 inches, and I pinch it tight, and I just open, and it doesn't matter where you start on this wreath form. Don't get lost in where do you start. You just take it and you start, and you lay it in that tie, and you just twist it up. I give it about 3 twists. Hello, Miss Kathy from Alabama. Yay, thank you for joining us. And then, see, it's got to flow it the way it's laying naturally here. I just come down here and just guesstimate about 2.5 inches again, and drop it into the very next twist tie, and then just tie it up. And then you can see it's kind of flat and doesn't have any life. We don't like flat and lifeless, so we just give it a poofy, and it gives it a nice poof. Alright, so from there, if you don't like the way it lays, it's on a wire, you can adjust it. So again, we're making that beautiful Christmas wreath that we talked about last night. You guys chose the red buffalo plaid to go with this. So I'm going to just keep doing the same thing. I just take that same 2.5 inches, pinch it off, put it in the tie, come down to the bottom, another 2.5 inch, put it in the tie, and twist it off, and then give it some life. Okay? And then you move on to your next one. So we're going to just pinch, lay, pinch, lay, and poof. Give it life. And we're going to do that all the way around. Now that's not too hard, is it? No, you guys can do that. You guys can do that. So, I really like this mesh because it fills in good. It's nice and full. You don't see a lot of gaps. I like this smaller wreath form because it does give it a lot of dimension. And I just keep going around twisting. And you might say, well, if you're going to lay that other piece in there, why are you twisting it and then untwisting it? I've tried it without twisting it up, and it just gets to be a hot mess, uncontrollable hot mess. So just take the little time, twist it and untwist it. It doesn't take long once you get the hang of it. So back to my story about the mini chat. I have never done a mini chat bot, didn't even know what it was, and I did a lot of research, learning from Miss Julie Samako with Southern Charms Wreaths and with Damon Oates with Deco Exchange. And they have some great tutorials out there, and I was able to figure it out, walk through and figure it out, because you guys all started replying, and now I have 29 subscribers on my page. So I am super stoked about that. My goal is in the next month, I'd like to reach 1,000 likes. Do you think we could do that? 1,000 likes on my page. So we just keep going around and laying. This is the boring part, but it's going to come together and look really nice. I'll show you this in just a second. On your wreath forms, on these 20 inches, these ties are about 4 inches from tie to tie. So you can see it makes a nice poof. So we got some nice poofing going on. We've got some ruffle technique. So this is called a poof and ruffle technique in the wreath industry. It's my favorite technique. I've tried, there's other techniques, just straight up ruffle, and there's a technique called the poof. I've tried doing those. It's just, I just like this one. So as a creative, when you find something that you like, you just kind of stick with it for a little bit. Let's see. Ooh, we got 27 people watching. Yay! I'm so excited. Yeah, this is just super exciting. So a little bit about me. I've been making wreaths for about 7 years, 6 or 7 years. I started making wreaths as a way of stress relief, just to have something to do. And actually I just went to the, ooh, that's a little too long. I went to hobby store and wanted a wreath for the door, and I was just like, man, I don't like what they have out here. I think if I put this and this and this together, I could make my own. And then the next thing you know, I was making wreaths and giving them away, and buying wreath supplies and making and watching videos on how to make deco mesh wreaths. And then the next thing you know, I've got supplies coming out the yin yang and wreaths everywhere, so I had to start doing something, right? Hello, Miss Lori Matthews. Thank you for joining. Hi, Miss Shelby, all the way from Georgia. Yay! Alright, so it took 5 of our bundles that we cut to do the outer row. For whatever reason, I start with that outer row. I think you guys just went blurry, didn't you? We'll give it a minute to refocus. Alright, I'm hoping it's going to catch up, the internet signal. Sorry about that. I'm going to have to get my son to run me some internet cable down here to the shop. But we're going to keep going. Lafayette, Alabama. I love me some Lafayette. I've been to the arena there because I show with, or I didn't this year, but last year I showed horses with the East Alabama Horse Association. So, and lived in the valley for a long time. Now we're out here in Opelika. So we're going to start our next row. It's going to take 3 pairs to complete the top row. And I do always start with the bottom. I just think it makes it easier to manage. And I'm just rolling this up, pinching it at the 2.5, opening my ties and laying it in and twisting it up. Now, this mesh can sometimes be a little cantankerous to deal with, and you do get, your fingers get all scratched up. But that's alright. So where were we? We were talking, let's see. Hello, Miss Robin. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. We are making a Deco Mesh Christmas wreath tonight using the red buffalo plaid that everybody chose by a landslide in last night's poll. I was telling everybody a little bit about how I got started in making wreaths, and I started doing craft shows a couple of years ago, and first weekend of October I will be at the Cotton Picking Fair in Gay, Georgia. If anybody comes out, y'all be sure to tell me, hey, come by and see me. I'll be at booth D37, which is at the North Gate entrance. Okay, we're almost to the end, and then the fun really starts. So you can see it just kind of lays in on top of itself, and it looks really nice and full. I'll show you in just a minute when I get these on here. So I do work full-time at the hospital here in Opelika. So I do my wreaths at night and on the weekends. I have a lot of fun doing it. So that's when I'll be doing most of my lives, will be in the evenings and on weekends. I'd love to have you guys join me. If you haven't subscribed to my page and would like to join me, you can put the word ribbon in the comments, and hopefully the chat bot will come out to you and get you subscribed. Can I have one just like it is? Well, yeah, I can make you one, Megan, just like it is. Alright, so here is just the wreath form. And Megan's right, it is really pretty just like it is. But we're going to make it spectacular. We are going to make it even prettier. Alright, so our next step, I always like to look at my sign. And this sign, because of this wreath and the way it's formed, I'm going to choose to put the sign directly in the middle. And you guys will see why soon. If you put it off to the side, that might be cute too. I don't know. I have a couple of these signs. I might make it in a couple of different directions. But I think I'm going to go with the middle. Miss Karen, I cut 16 of the 12-inch Deco Mesh strips. The Deco Mesh was 21 inches long, and I cut 16. I just put 2 rolls on top of each other and cut 16 for this, because there were 16 twist ties on this form. Okay? So to attach my sign, I'm going to move this over to the side just a minute. And we have to prepare our sign. I love me some mini pearl, but I'm not like mini pearl, so I got to take the price tags and all other tags off. So I just do that with a blade, and all the safety experts out there are going to say, that blade needs to go away from your body. I know. But I always have better luck with it going that way. So these signs usually come off pretty easily. Just one of the little tools of the trade is to have a blade. Alright, so the next tool of the trade that I'll be using is my staple gun. And my staples are a little bit long, so to keep them from coming through on my sign, I just cut me some strips of some scrap cardboard that I have, and I'm going to use them, and I'm going to take this, I'm going to staple this sign down right here, this oh, what is this? This hanger, because whoever buys this wreath may choose to use this hanger later. So I just put a staple in it, and that's going to hold it. And it didn't come through to the other side because I doubled up on that cardboard right there. Alright, thank y'all. For those of y'all that put ribbon in, did y'all get a bot? Can I get a thumbs up if you got a bot response? That'll help me know if I'm doing good or not. Alright, so I like to secure my signs in 4 places. The last thing you want is that sign flopping around on a door going kablam kablam every time you open and close a door. So, I'm going to put, that's already got the jute right there. Oh good, thanks guys. So that's got the jute, so I'll put my ties there, and then I'll come down and put them in these corners here. And okay, so I have a green base on my wreath form, so I'm going to use green twist tie, pipe cleaners, Chanel stems, whatever you call them, because I just think that'll look better. And I just put 2 staples on it, and then twist them up, and that's going to hold that sign pretty secure so it doesn't go anywhere. Hello Miss Danita, Miss Heather, thank y'all for joining. So glad you could make it with us tonight. I just double check my depth on those. This feels good. Next time I go to the store, I'm going to get some staples that aren't quite as long as these. I didn't realize they made staples in various sizes, but obviously, evidently they do. Alright, thank y'all for replying, Ribbon. Hopefully you'll get that chat, and then once you subscribe, when I send out alerts, you guys will get a notification. Well, that thing just popped right off of there. So a couple of tools of the trade that I use: staple guns, my scissors, my Fiskars, rotary cutter, wire snips, just various things. Alright, so we have our sign ready. And we're going to take our wreath form, and then I'm going to just lay it down on this sign, and I try to put my ties around. I just go in between, and you can see it's going to come through on this other side right here. Now get them in there. I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to just cinch it down. Alright. So we have some more people that have joined us. Miss Andrea, thank you for joining. Y'all, I hope these comments are going by. I hope I'm not missing anybody. If I am, I apologize, but I am thankful you're here. So I know we got Georgia and Alabama and California in the house. Do we have anybody else? Okay. Well, this weekend I had a baby shower here at the house, and we had lots of fun at that baby shower. I just enjoy having people over, and so a Facebook Live is kind of like having company. It's kind of like having people over. I think I'm going to get used to it and be able to go live a little bit and just feel like I have somebody here in the shop with me. Oh, we have Tennessee in the house. That's right. I remember, Maria, now. You said you were from Tennessee at the very get-go. You were the first one on with us. And then we have Kentucky, West Virginia. Wow. I am honored that you guys are joining me tonight. You know, there's a lot of things you guys could be doing. Watching me make a wreath, it's going to be really pretty. So I just put all the way around, I put these twist ties to put this sign in, okay? And then I'm just going to wrap them around and secure it. And that's going nowhere. That is going to hold that sign in place. A lot of people want to know, how are my signs secured? Are they going to fall off? And they are not going to fall off. Hopefully, unless, I don't know, we've had hurricanes lately, right? New Orleans, wonderful. New Orleans is in the house. I am actually going to be coming to New Orleans in October. The hospital where I work with workforce development and education. I'm a registered nurse by trade. And we've actually won an award. I can't actually tell what it is until it's been publicly announced, but we won an award and I get to go accept it. So I'm super, super excited about that. Alright, so our sign is now on our wreath. And you can see it's good and secure. It's not going anywhere. So next, let me show you our ribbon choices. Of course, you guys know we chose this pretty red. And that really just talks to Christmas to me, especially with this vintage looking sign. We also chose a traditional plaid. This plaid is going to pick up on these greens and the holly leaves and the holly berries on the sign. Okay, so we got the red and the plaid. And then this ribbon right here has got a little bit of sparkle, some pine cones, and the holly berries. So I thought it would really go nicely. I toyed with the idea of this, but I think it's too much red. So I said nope. And instead, we're going to go with this pretty moss green right here. Because I really think that's going to pick up again on these leaves and the berries. So, the first thing I want to do is, I know I've got 16 ties, and I'm going to do ribbon in each tie. Oh, thank you for the heart. Thank you, thank you. Alright, and so this is where I have to start thinking which colors look best together. And I think I'm gonna pair the plaid with this one, and I'm gonna pair the moss green with the red. I think that competes too much, and that's a different color green. I want it to be more of a contrast and not so in your face. Thank you, thank you. I love these ribbons too. So we're gonna go pair of these and pair of these. So I've got 6. Remember, we had 16 of these ties. So I'm going to cut 8 strips of this pair and 8 strips of this pair. Got it? 8 strips of each pair. I like to cut my strips at 14 inches. So I just measure it out on my cutting mat. And then we'll do 1, 2. I use my first one as my template. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This plaid ribbon, I believe I got at Hobby Lobby. I always like to dovetail my ribbons. I just think it gives it a nicer finished look. So I stack them 4 on top. Thank you for the hearts. I stack them 4 on top, and then I'll dovetail them. I'm going to dovetail it by just cutting from the center to the end. And then you can see that gives you a nice little dovetail. So I'll do that on all of them. And then so we know we've got 8 of these done, and we just got to cut our other ribbons. So making a wreath is time consuming, as you can see. But people say, how long does it take you to make a wreath? I'm like, I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour maybe. That's after you come up with the design. How many of you guys are wreath makers? Do I have any wreath makers out there? Give me some likes, give me some comments. Let me know my wreath makers. For those of you who make wreaths, you'll understand this next thing. The longest part of making a wreath is probably coming up with the design, getting it in your head. But once it's there and you play around with what you want to put, man, can you go to town. 3. Alright, this moss ribbon, I'm cutting my ribbon at 14 inches. And this moss ribbon is a linen type ribbon. Oh, Miss Heather is a wreath maker. Yay! Oh, amateur Miss Chandra Darden. Yeah, I've seen some of your stuff. You're going to get it, girl. Six. And Miss Cindy, I know you're making some pretty things. All right, so there's the 8 of the green. And again, I'm just going to dovetail them. I'll kind of do them over the trash. Kind of saves up on the cleanup time. I go through about 3 or 4 pairs of scissors a season. How about you guys? Miss Diane, just starting. Yes, the design. Yes, they are the tough part. But once you get going and you get into designing, you're going to have design. You're going to be walking through somewhere and you're going to see something and you're like, oh my gosh, that would look so good in a wreath. And then the next thing you know, you're going to have a car full of stuff coming home with you. You're like, I can't do without it. It might not be here when I come back. I gotta have it. Then you'll be like me, have a house full of stuff. Alright, so we've got our 8, 14 inches long. There's probably a faster way to do this, and I've seen some people put them on a spool and wrap it around. I am not that coordinated. Not that coordinated. So I know when I first started making wreaths, it took me a lot longer. I've gotten a little bit faster over the years. Like getting ready for the cotton picking fair, I intend on taking about 120 items. And it's 2 weeks away, and I'm at about 80, 85, somewhere along there. So I got a little ways to go. So y'all can spend a lot of time making wreaths with me. It's already started, huh? Okay, 4. I got 4 of those cut. 5. 6. Miss Andrea, yeah. Is it? And you just started in June? Ooh, yeah. 7. Wait till you go in there and you just start seeing all of the Christmas things that are out. And you're going to want to just, oh, I can make this. Oh, I can make that. Ooh, ooh. There's just not enough hours in the day to make all the pretties that are available out there. Are you jealous? Don't be jealous, Miss Rena. So for those of you who aren't wreath makers, you can see how time and attention to detail are going into my wreaths. I will have this wreath available on my Etsy shop after it's available right now actually at Crafty Creations WS at Etsy.com. I'll post a link in a little bit. I hadn't figured out how to do that on Facebook Live yet. But you can see the quality that goes into my work and the details that I take. Alright, we're going to do another 14. This is our last ribbon. We'll do 8 of these. And then we'll make our bow. We'll get our ribbons in and then we'll make our bow. Alright. So, we'd go broke. Oh, yes, the cotton picking fair. I've been going, this will be my 5th year at the cotton picking. I go in the spring and try to go every spring and fall and have my booth. And I love seeing all the people and the vendors and all the pretty things. But I really love seeing my customers come through, and I have some that come from all over. I have a lady from South Carolina who comes every year and gets something. A lady from Georgia. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I'll recap in just a minute, Andrea. 8. Alright, so while I dovetail these and get this ribbon kind of put to the side, well, we're going to make our bow in a minute, so I don't want to put it too far. Alright, so the base was a pre-made wreath form, and it had 16 twist ties on it. It's an evergreen form. And then I used 21-inch Deco mesh that I cut into 12-inch strips. I cut 16 of them. And I used what's called the ruffle poof technique, where I took the strip and rolled it into a cylinder. Show you just a minute. Alright, so I got all these cut. I had the mesh cut into 16. I did 2 rolls, so I did 8 pairs. Then I rolled the Deco mesh using the natural flow of the mesh like this. And then I opened the twist tie and I put about 2.5 inches into the tie, twisted it up, and brought this and put it in the very next tie, twisted it, and that created the poof. And then we just kind of separated the poof out to give it some life. Okay, hope that helps you. Oh, really? See, Alabama wreath. Miss Rena's got an Alabama wreath still hanging on her door. These mesh wreaths, they last for a while. Alright, so we got these choices put together here, and we'll put these choices. Okay, so now it's time for us to put these into our wreath base. I gotta get my clippings out of the way. It is just super exciting to me to have all you guys on here tonight with me, so I'm not in the wreath shop by myself. Although I'm by myself, I don't feel like I'm by myself. That's pretty cool. Alright, so to put these in, I just match them up. And I got the wrong side out. Nope, I got the right side out. This duller side, I always check. I guess you could use this either way, but we're going to go with the flannel look. And then I just fold it till it meets in half, and then I give it a pleat scrunch. I just scrunch it up. Did y'all see that? Just scrunch it. And then just pick a place to start. And I'm going to start with this tie right up under. I untie it. I put my ribbon down in there, and then I give it a good tie and twist it back up. And then I just separate them out. This is wired ribbon. I only use wired ribbon. There you go. See how pretty that lays right there? And so I will alternate. So now we'll do these, fold it up, scrunch it, open my tie, poke it down in and twist it back up. Oh, crochet, Miss Lori, I am jealous of you and that crochet. My nanny used to make the most gorgeous crocheted items. And I would try to do crochet. She tried to teach me, and my fingers just would not do it. I never learned, and then she passed away, and it went with her. And she did tatting. Do you do tatting? Does anybody remember tatting? I believe that is a lost art form there. Alright, so I've done red and green, the plaid and the floral, and I'm just going to come kind of in between the two on this bottom row, open it up, and put the red and green again. I alternate going around. Now some of you guys, when you're first getting started, it may be easier for you to do alternate around and do the whole top row and then the bottom row. Me, I just alternate and just go as I go, so I only have to turn this wreath one time and be done with it. Does that make sense? Miss Rena, make sure you remind me that you're one of my followers here on Facebook. I'd love to meet you. Alright, so I'm coming again, and so it's really quite easy. I like the 14 inches. I used to do 12, and it just doesn't have the same depth, in my opinion, as the 14 inches do. Okay? And then you just keep on going. So, last week, we had an email go out at work. And Miss Chandra, I believe you're still on here. She's joined me on this. We've decided to do the couch potato to 5K. On top of all the wreath making, I've decided I need to go run. But y'all, it's been so fun. It has been an awesome experience so far. Torture, but awesome. Miss Kathy, do you always use a smaller ribbon on top? Not always. That's just how these ribbons came together. Sometimes I'll use 2 of the 2.5 inch. Okay, so this thinner ribbon is an inch. It's a number 9. What's called a number 9 ribbon. And then the wider 2-inch ribbon is the number 40. And it just worked out that the number 9 and the number 40 were what I chose for this wreath. But sometimes I'll use 2 of the same. It just depends. Good question. Yes, Chandra, it is so much fun. I tell you, I couldn't hardly move last night, but I feel better today. So we're on week 2 of this couch potato torture treatment. And you wouldn't think it's that hard. You warm up, you do some warm-up exercises, and then you do a warm-up walk for 5 minutes. And then you jog, run, whatever you call it, for 90 seconds. Y'all, 90 seconds is the longest 90 seconds you'll ever experience when you're running it and you cannot breathe, and every ounce of flub on you is going jiggle wiggle, jiggle wiggle, jiggle wiggle. And you're just begging for that app to go, it's time to walk. Isn't that right, Chandra? Woo, I didn't think I was going to make it. So you walk, you run 90 seconds, then you recover, walk for 2 minutes, then you run 90 seconds. So you do 6 rounds of the 90 seconds and 6 rounds of the walking. And then after that, you do some more stretches for your hamstrings. And then it's time to go home. Yay! And you're just wore out. But a little bit after that, you feel so much better. I'm already feeling better. I haven't lost any weight, but I'm feeling better. Alright, so remember I'm alternating my ribbon colors. And I'm just putting them in these twist ties. So, I really like this red. How about you guys? I got some likes coming out there on that. Some hearts for you really, really like it. Thumbs up if it's just okay. You'd rather have seen the black. So, don't forget, if you put in the word ribbon, if you hadn't already subscribed to my page, you will have the opportunity to subscribe to my page and find out when I'm going live, when I'm making my next creation. I'd love to have you join me. Alright, and as soon as we get the ribbons put in, I know it's pretty like it is, but we're going to dress it up even more. We're going to add pine boughs, and we're going to add holly berries. What do y'all think about that? We're going to make us a bow, and then we're going to add these into it, and that's just really going to make this a nice full wreath. So I have my glue pan. I use a little electric skillet glue pan. So I have my glue pan heating up. The trick to your glue pan heating is it needs to be hot enough for the glue to stick to your items, but not so hot that it's runny and it runs off and drips and burns you. So, okay. Alright, so I'm going to speed up this process. I think you guys have got this. So we'll speed this up a little bit. Let's get this done so we can get to some more fun stuff, so you guys can see how adding those floral items really changes the dynamic. I mean, it's pretty just like it is with the ribbons, but I like to do over the top. Over the top. I'm capable of doing just pretty, but I really get excited when I can do over the top. I enjoy oohs and ahs. Those of you who are wreath makers, don't you love oohs and ahs? I also love it when my customers are happy with what they get. And it's something that they can't get anywhere else, because you know what? Your creations come from your mind. And not many folks can recreate my mind. They wouldn't want to be in it, that's for sure. It might scare them a little bit. Okay. Because my mind, I have a tough time. I don't know about you guys, but I have a tough time getting it to shut off at times. To go to sleep, to get some rest. I really struggle with that. Because I lay there thinking of all the things I could be doing. What I need to do next. I am so tickled to have all you guys here with me. So what do you guys do? I know I got some amateur wreath makers. Maybe some more than amateur wreath makers. What do the rest of you guys do? Are you guys working? Are you staying home? Tell me a little bit. Talk to me. Yes, I do make the same wreath twice at times, and once you get stuck on a design and you have the supplies, I will create it twice. However, I will tell you this. Even though you make it using the exact same stuff, it does not come out the same. It won't, because the placement of the ties will be different, your placement of your sign will be different, your vision for the day will be different. So even though you use the same materials and it'll look similar, it is not ever identical. Alright, I like putting on little extras you don't put on a bow. Okay? So this would be fine without a bow if somebody were to opt and say, I don't really want the bow, but I like a bow. And I think we are going to put us a bow. I think we're going to make our bow right here in the center, because our other stuff is going to go around. Now, because we have so much going on here, my bow is not going to be ginormous. And I believe I'm going to start with the plaid. So, I'm going to move the wreath out of the way so you can see how I make the bow. And then we'll bring the wreath back and put the bow on, okay? Miss Cindy, rehabbing your house. Okay, so that's your new house that you're going to, or are you rehabbing your other house, getting it ready to sell? Or both? Alright, so for this bow, because I'm not doing real big, I'm going to give it about, how much of a tail do we want? I'm going to give it about an 8-inch tail. So I come to the 8 inches and I make me a pleat, and then I'm going to make a loop. I don't want a really big loop, so I'm going to make my loop 4 inches, a 4-inch loop. And the trick to the bow is once you make the loop, twist it. A bow using only one hand. I have never tried making a bow using one hand. I have both of my hands. I would say if you're only using one hand, the Easy Bow Maker, you can get at Walmart, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, or online. The Easy Bow Maker allows you to, it's like a stand, and you can put your ribbon down in it and twist it and turn it, and it'll hold it for you. I would recommend that. Okay, so I did a 4-inch, right? Yeah, I did a 4-inch. No, I did 8 inches. Yeah, okay. So I just made just a standard, simple little bow, 8 inches there, okay? Put this to the side. And next I'm going to pair it with, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and make it about the same length as far as the tail, 4 inches. make my loop. This one I'm going to make it, I made that other loop 4 inches. This loop is going to be about 6 inches right here. Okay. Alright, I'm going to pinch it, twist it, another 5-inch loop. You can kind of do this to see if they're even. Twist it. I'm using this middle finger to hold everything in place. Using this one as a guide and just cutting it. Okay. Alright, now I got these going on. I'm going to bring in my moss green. So I'm alternating the skinny ribbon with the wide ribbon. And keep that a little bit smaller. Again at that about 5.5 inches. Twist it. Pull it in so that it's right there at it. Twist it. And cut. Okay. Alright, so here's what I got going on so far. And I just kind of adjust these around in my hand. Okay. Now let's add the red. I'm going to make that red just a little bit longer on the tail. Not much. Just a little bit longer. There we go. Because remember, we've got so much going on this wreath with these bows already. I don't want too much. And just twist it and turn. And cut. Alright, so our bow looks like this while it's in our hand. We got a hold of everything. The best thing since sliced bread, a zip tie. I run my zip tie through the center, catch it with my thumb, pull it around, and cinch it down. Take my wire snips, snip it off. And there you have a Beautimus bow. The next thing, I'll take a Chanel stem, pipe cleaner, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to twist it around and twist. Alright. Okay. And that's going to be what we attach it to the wreath with. But I've got to do my snipping of all my ends. Did that bow look too hard? What do you guys think? Could y'all make the bow? It's not too hard. It's not too complicated. Alright. So if you guys think about it, and you hadn't already told me where you're at, I see we've had some more folks join us. Now tell us where you're from. Give us a like, give us a share. Let us know you're here. We're excited to have you. We are making a beautiful Christmas wreath with the red buffalo plaid ribbon that you guys voted on yesterday. Alright, so here's our wreath. And we said we were going to put it right here in the center. So I'm just going to go around that tie that was already here. You can see I just come around and then I twist that Chanel stem. Don't pull it too tight. You don't want it to sink into the wreath. South Jersey. Ooh, Illinois. Thank you for the share, Miss Karen. Hello, Miss Tasha from Mississippi. Wonderful. So glad you guys could join us. Alright, so see the bow? It's not overpowering, but it does add a little depth and dimension. What do you guys think? Yes on the bow? Yes? Alright. Thumbs up for yes. Okay, so now let's talk about what to do with these. I pretty much, oh, hello Miss Pam from Opelika. Yay, neighbor. I'll go ahead and take my little price tag off of here. So I like to dry fit my stuff in my wreath just to see how it's going to look. So I go in between those rows that we had and just kind of see what looks good, where I want this thing. I'm thinking I like it coming down in a droop. I like the way that drapes down the side and gives it some texture and dimension. And so I'll pick another one out. So you want your eye to go around the wreath in a circle. And because we did it there on that side, we'll do the same thing here on this side. We'll bring it in. We'll have it coming down. So that tells me I'm going to use 4 of these. If I just use 3, it's going to look bare. So we'll put one down up underneath here where we did the bow. Remembering it doesn't have to be perfect just yet. We're just kind of dry fitting it. I don't want to commit to anything till I see what it's going to look like. Alright. So I'm really liking the, what do you think? So, we'll get this put in here. I don't know, I'm not liking this one too much because this sticks out too much at the top. So I will take my wire cutters and I'll create a smaller one, and then I have a larger one here. So I'm probably going to take that larger one and put it there in the middle, and then the smaller one behind it, because I just think that looks better. And I think I'm going to do that on all of them. Look at the difference that makes. I got the 2 behind the smaller ones, and then I put that larger one in the front on that front row. That's going to be really pretty. So I'm going to do the same for all of them. That's why I don't commit to putting anything in until I kind of see where I want it to go. Because you just don't know. And you won't know until the wreath tells you. The wreath will tell you what it's going to look like. How many know what I'm talking about? Yeah? Alright, I lost my post here, so hang on a second. I lost your comments. Oh, there we are. Yes, the pine boughs really, really add to it. Because, I mean, it's pretty with just the ribbon. But then when you look at the depth that these pine boughs add, that's what gives it that wow. That's what brings the wow out. And I'm all about the wow. What do you guys think? You see how snipping them off and making them smaller added some more dimension, texture? So now the question is, how in the world do I get these attached? Hey Kristen, how are you? We did talk about this today. Alright, so to attach all of these, I use some more handy dandy wreath ties. Thanks, Megan. It is going to be really, really pretty. So I can't show you my zip tie process until I get a couple of them on here. So hold on. I'm going to cut this. I don't need all that. I'm going to save it because I never throw anything away. How many of you are like that? Pack rats to the end. Pack rat tribe. Who's in my pack rat tribe? Alright, so when I put this wire on the back of this wreath form, I'm going to bend it to go with the form of the wreath. And y'all hang on and I'll show it to you. Hang on just a minute. But if I turn it now, it'll fall, everything's going to fall out. Okay. Working with the zip ties can be a little aggravating. Trying to find the hole. Alright, so the first one's in. We only got 8 more to go, right? So this is what takes your time. This is what sets yours apart from the run of the mill. Okay. You got to get down here up and close and personal with it. So as you're doing your zip ties, you're just kind of making sure that you get toward the end of the stem so that you don't have any scragglers. Again, we want to protect the surface of the door or the wall, wherever it's going to go. No, Miss Pam, I don't make my signs. I wish I was artistic enough to do that, but I will leave that to someone else. I'll just stick to the wreath making. Now, my daughter makes signs, but she's so busy making signs for her customers, I don't get her to make anything yet. But the time will come. Y'all just wait. The time will come. Alright, so we've got 2 in place. We've got to cut this one down. These wire cutters that I'm using, I got from Home Depot or Lowe's, either one. But they're electrician's wire, South wire. They came from Lowe's, actually. And they are super nice. They just cut right through this wire like it's nothing. Megan. Amanda's got 3 young'uns she chases all day. And she is selling them as fast as she can make them on her Etsy store at Woodson Gale Interiors on Etsy. She is really doing good with that sign business. I am so proud for her. But she has a flair all her own, that is for sure, on those. Alright, so putting them with those zip ties really makes them good and secure. I can tug and pull. I'm almost done and I'll be able to show you guys how I've done this, okay? So hang on a minute. And then on these gaps that we have on this, we're going to put these holly berries. And then we'll be done. We're almost done, guys. Y'all hang in there. Hello, Miss Linda Nicholson. Glad you could join me. Chandra, tell Leah to come over to the page. She just commented on my other page. If you're still here, tell Leah to come to my crafty page. I'd love for her to join us. Alright. So, as we get these pine boughs in there, y'all tell me, can you just smell Christmas? What are the smells of Christmas for you guys? I always think of Christmas trees, pine, cedar. Think about cinnamon, apple, cider. What does Christmas smell like to you guys? It's funny that we're talking about Christmas and it's 95 degrees outside. Y'all, I'm keeping my friends in South Carolina, North Carolina in my prayers. I tell you, I've got several that have had to evacuate, worrying about their homes. I just couldn't even imagine. Cedar and cider, absolutely. Can't wait for the candles to come out. You guys know it's getting close to that. Candles, Scentsy, you Young Living, essential oils, all that stuff is going to be coming out and rocking it at the house. Alright, I'm almost to the point I can turn this around and show you guys without everything falling. So I went this past weekend to a floral design show at Sims Pottery. Had the best time. I was just drooling over everything that they had this year. Some new stuff came out. Some gorgeous stuff. Alright, I missed this one. I gotta go back and put this one in. Almost there. One more. Now there's going to be a couple options to cover up these zip ties on the back when I'm done, and I'll tell you guys about those in a few minutes. Let me cut this one. Remember, I'm cutting these stems, and these scraps off of this make great glue pot stirrers for those of you who use glue pots. Speaking of which, let me check mine. Yep, it is just right at the ready. So remember, we did a Deco mesh, 21-inch Deco mesh strips. We cut 16 of them. We put them on a wire wreath form. Hello, Miss Valerie. Thank you for joining me. I didn't get to talk to you much today. Evergreen at Christmas. Yes, yes. The pine I got at Sims Pottery. Yes, ma'am. Came from Sims, which is a wholesale distributor in North Georgia, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about when I say Sims. Alright, so on the back, you can see I put the stems of the pine curved along the wreath form and zip tied it in. So these pine are not going anywhere. Anywhere. They are secure. I believe your dog could get a hold of this wreath and they'd still stay in. I don't know about y'all, but I got dogs that love to chew on things. Alright, so we got our pine in there. Yes, we like. See? I really like it. Now tomorrow when the daylight comes, I'll take some good pictures and post for you guys. So let's look at where we want our beautiful holly bush. Now these holly bushes are real thin and they're not real secure to this bush. You see how easy that came off? And I don't want them on a stem, so I'm going to take them off and I'm going to put them in a clump together. And I think we're going to have some that go right here. And so to get these together, I'm going to use my steel pick machine. If you guys haven't seen a steel pick machine, it's a big heavy thing. It looks like this. And it slides out. Let me move this over and I'll show you. Because I'm going to do a few of these. Alright, it slides out and puts a little metal steel pick. Hold on a minute, I gotta plug in my battery. Uh-oh, crash! Everything's alright, no worries. Still good, no worries. I'll be back with you in a second. I don't want to lose you. Okay. Alright, we're back. So the steel pick machine is going to put a little metal steel pick on. I'm going to put all these together and it's going to secure them all together and allow me to put them in my So there it put a steel pick on it. You see that? That thing is sharp. It will poke you. So use caution. Alright, I put 4 together. Let me do another set of 4. And create another one. Thank you, Miss Linda. Alright. These steel pick machines, they have at Hobby Lobby. They have them at Floral Supplies. You can order them from Amazon. But I tell you what, I looked up, and my daughter, there we go, here's another one. My daughter found, I had this one that I had gotten at Hobby Lobby, and I used a 40% off coupon. And some people said that their Hobby Lobby wouldn't take the coupon. Mine did. And they're $179.99, something like that at Hobby Lobby. Ooh, I saved and saved. And was able to go and get one on the 40% off. And then Amanda went to a estate sale and found an older one for me. She called me. She said, "Hey, Mom, there's one of those gizmos that you use out there in the craft shop here at this estate sale." I said, "Okay, well, how much is it?" She said, "It's $28. I said, "You go now, you get that, and you put sold on it now. Don't wait. Don't waste any time. You go right now and get it, because somebody's going to know what it is, and they're going to snatch it." And so I got a spare, and it was 28 bucks. Alright, so these are going to go on my sign, and actually I'm going to do maybe 3 more. Because I want to have a little bit of contrast to that pine. I think these are going to be really pretty. So don't be afraid to experiment with your flowers, your florals on your wreaths. Take them apart, see what they look like. If they look too big for your project, just take them apart and make them the size that you need. You've got the freedom. It's all you, babe. You got it. You can do it. Alright. Because I think that's what holds a lot of us back from making stuff, is not knowing sizes, not knowing proportions, coloring. Would you guys agree? 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do one more. I may not use it, but I'll do it. I like these berries and this greenery on these things. It's a vibrant green, but it doesn't look, you know how some plastic stuff just looks like plastic? This doesn't. It has a really nice flow to it. And I guess I could take some floral tape and wrap around those, and it'd be easier to maintain them. But that would be too easy. Why would I want to do it the easy way? Hello, Miss Kayla. So glad you joined me. Hey, girl, don't forget, scholarship applications due October 1st Friday. I'm looking for yours. I haven't forgot you. Alright, so got our wreath back. We got to clean up this back. All these zip ties that we put back here. Remember all these zip ties? So I just take my wire cutters. I snip all those zip ties off. I snip them as close as I can to the base of where they tied together. And then there's another little trick that we'll do. So this hasn't been too hard. I would say on a difficulty level, maybe a medium. Now all of these zip ties, when you cut them, that's a real sharp point. Remember, we don't want that smooth edges. So I just go around and turn them all in so that we don't have any rough edges, no rough points, and they will turn them all in. Alright, oop, I missed one. Okay, so we got that cleaned up. And now these, I have to be real careful because once I place them and these little grooves on this that catches in the mesh, it's really hard to pull them back out. So I'm pretty much sure I'm going to put one at each corner of this sign. And then I have a spot right here for one. I'll probably go every other and put one in. Spot right there. So you guys can see. Now these I will put hot glue on because I don't want them coming undone. And I go ahead and prepare my twist tie by undoing it, not all the way, just a little bit. I'm going to leave it open because once I put the glue to this, I get me a good little dollop of glue on there. And then I make sure that I push it down in between that mesh and that tie. And then I twist the tie around it. Because that is going to secure that floral pick right where you put it. Okay? Get that? We're going to do this one. So I make sure that it goes down into the mesh so that it has something to grab to. Put some glue on there. Now don't forget, if you guys aren't wreath makers and you want a wreath, I have an Etsy shop. It's open 24/7, and this wreath is actually listed in the Etsy shop right now. And I'll be at the Cotton Picking Fair the first weekend of October. Forgot to open this one up. I would love to see you guys if y'all come out, if you're local. I do ship, so keep that in mind. I'm going to try to go live again maybe Friday. We'll do a different wreath. See how that holly berries are looking on there? How pretty is that? Y'all see? We're going to put some on this other side. So your wreath will kind of tell you where it needs to go. You start putting them in, you'll be like, I need some more. That's my problem. I get a little bit carried away sometimes with it. And then before you know it, you got a wreath that's very full and fluffy. Sometimes you have to have a little restraint. Thank you, Miss Pam. I'm glad you enjoyed watching me. Y'all be sure and share my post and invite your friends to come and watch. I really enjoy sharing knowledge, because knowledge is, it's just a great gift, and it's a gift to be shared. Alright, so those little pieces aren't going to be enough, so guess what? I need another stem. Alright, I'm going to put these three together. Where did I put my steel pick? My steel pick's back over here to the side. But you guys saw me doing that, so hold on a minute. Alright, so as I started looking at this, I got a big holiday over here where there's nothing. It's like we're all working, and then we went on holiday, and there's nothing there. So we're going to put some on the around in here, and then we'll step back and look at it, and let's see, we need one right there, and we're just going to fill in where needed, okay? Untying that twist tie, tucking it down in, making sure it gets in that mesh. And y'all, Kayla's on here. Kayla works at Cafco Floral in Montgomery. If y'all are local and you need a wreath supplier, check out Cafco. They are awesome. I've got lots of beautiful things from Cafco. And I just discovered them a couple years ago. I didn't even know they were there. So I do have a Facebook Live on here from Cafco where I showed everybody the pretties and the goodies. Kayla's going to nursing school. I'm so proud of her. Alright, I believe that's one of the hardest degrees I ever earned, and I've got a couple of them. That initial nursing degree, I tell you what. Got a couple other nurses out here. Would you guys agree? Thank you, Miss Chandra. Thank you, Cindy. Alright. I need one more right there. Guys, we are almost done with this. I've had so much fun sharing this with you guys. How to make a beautiful Merry Christmas wreath using this red buffalo plaid. Alright. I think we might be needing two more right there, and then we're done. And I'm going to show you what we've done, what we've created tonight. You guys have been so good to work with tonight. I enjoy having people to talk to. Like I said, tomorrow I'll take pictures of this in the daylight so you guys can actually see what we've created together. Alright, last one going in. I'm not liking the way that's kind of flattened out right there. I have to give it a little life. There we go. And here we go. What do you guys think? It is done. We got lots of holly berries in there. We've got that pine. We've got that gorgeous red and white buffalo plaid. This little bow just sets it off. I think we created a masterpiece tonight, guys. It's beautiful. Thank you, Megan. Thank y'all for sticking with me through all of this. So, let's recap what we've done. I'll pull you up so I'm not laying down at you. Alright, so tonight we took a plain evergreen wreath form and we added this pretty deco mesh. We added beautiful ribbons. Here were our ribbon choices. We had the 2-inch floral, the 1.5 inch moss, the 2-inch red plaid, and then the 1-inch, I call it winter plaid. And we added this really pretty Merry Christmas sign. And we created a bow. We cut our ribbon streamers. We added 4 of these pine boughs, and we took several stems of this really pretty holly berry. And you know what? I think I may add a holly berry right here. I think it needs one right there. Yeah, so we added all that to our mesh, and we secured it up, and we created a pretty wreath. Again, thank you guys for joining me. If you didn't hear when you came on, if you'll reply with one word of ribbon, you should get a mini bot notification and an option to join me for other lives so that I can send you a Facebook Messenger, let you know when I'm going live. I will be making something else here shortly because I am working on getting my inventory up for the Cotton Picking Fair, which is the first weekend of October. And I'm hoping to take about 120 wreaths to the Cotton Picking Fair. So I'm about 85 toward my goal. I gotta keep working, keep going, so I got lots of new ideas and lots of new stuff. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I will post this up for replay, and I will add the link to my Etsy shop if anybody's interested in this pretty one. So you guys have a wonderful night, and we will see you soon. Oh yeah, oh wait, forgot. Hummingbird Festival, 3rd weekend of October. Thank you, Amanda. Alright, good night, y'all.